Let me see. Put your head on the stage, Sister Elsie.
Should I be out there? Look at Judy with such brainless.
We can never get healthy. We can
You got your wig on?
Don't laugh, don't laugh. No, I'm not pulling down my Just back, spread out. Well, at the end of the day, they do have nobody else black.
Except the hair is good. I thought Dr.
We'll go out and watch.
Now he always wants us to have more fun. Wearing that thing and it'd snap on his pants. So she's going to tell us when to step out. And do we just think so? No, I just wait off for
We could take a couple of straight pins and run right in there and that would cover that all up. I've got to find my purse. I must have to find it.
You'll stand on one side.
She was in the ladies' room.
I keep walking in front of Pat. I'm not
Where does she stay standing? Where does she stay standing? What did you want?
Okay, bring one of these out.
Give me any trouble, I should be going down the stairs.
Wonderful. All of this is wonderful. Who wanted bobby pin? Shall I get started up? Somebody wanted to take a picture of each one.
Down the stairs.
Then here. And then head for the back of the stage, you know, in that little room, and then get in your order. Stand back a little further towards the wall.
Are we supposed to be serious or what?
Yes, we were very serious back then.
Okay, let's be serious.
No, just right here. Your picture, yeah. Okay.
In between the two knots.
So we don't have those dots.
So when you get your picture one at a time.
I'd move if I could.
Smile. All right.
I don't know where they are. They could be on the other side.
Yeah, there was some people over there.
Oh, Brother Hill, you got to stand
And stand
between
in
the
the
dots.
Right here?
Whoa.
Jump on the thing. There we go. Ooh, beautiful.
Okay.
I need somebody to go across the...
Okay.
You don't feel lost across?
Hey, smile. Oh, that's sweet.
36? No. There, you want to do that side? I don't think you're right. Okay. Oh, like a doctor's office is up next.
Smile. cool.
Great. Beautiful. You got a beautiful smile. Dots.
And then you go on the little room at the back of the stage.
Get out of the way.
There.
You'll need to move back. There you go.
Yeah, I can't.
Sorry, people are.
I'll step on this.
We'll get one too.
Okay, yeah.
Sister Swins. Here they come. Here they come. Hey, now you want to
Okay.
Okay, Tip.
Oh, good. I love it. Hold it. Hold it. Woo. Oh, good. Leave your tray like that.
Okay.
Oh, sorry. I got to focus here again. Very good.
Okay. You guys don't leave. Patty, get your pictures too.
Number 9.
Very good.
Smile.
How do you walk? You're 9. I'm 9.
No, they can't do that to us.
Very good.
You know who they are.
Okay, who's? I think.
Right here?
I want to tell you those are the 3 Ds you got. Cavities in your bag. It's just absolutely great.
So teenager.
Much noise out here.
Really good.
I don't know where I am.
Where is she?
I know.
Really? Smile.
Yeah, smart.
Where
What do I do now? It's right here, Harriet.
Oh, I get turned around every time I come out of that door.
Between the dots.
Room behind the stage. Wait. Come here.
Very good. Hey. 13. Right back against the wall. Between the dots.
13. Are we supposed to have pictures? Who's that?
Ready.
No, we're not doing numbers.
So do I need to go out there now?
Kurt. Oh, stand up straight. There you go. Oh, beautiful. Very good.
This mission. Zina worked in the temple until the time of her death. She practiced obstetrics and always lent her service and her faith whenever it was needed. On August 28, 1901, Zina D.H. Young died at the age of 80. And on November 10, 1901, Bathsheba W. Smith was called to be the new president. Bathsheba was the youngest woman present at the organization of the Relief Society in its original state in 1842, and she was only 19 at the time. And she lived to see the Relief Society grow in membership to over 40,000. In later years, she often related interesting incidents with those Nauvoo days, and she was especially appreciative of the generosity and the kindness of the first president, Emma Hale Smith. Bathsheba had a beautiful home. Most of it was decorated by her with her own hands. She made her own carpets, she spun, she colored, she wove cloth. She embroidered and made knitting. Under Bathsheba, the Relief Society started a nurses' school, and in 1902, mother classes were introduced in the Relief Society. Society. On September 20th, 1910, Bathsheba W. Smith died, the last of the women who had been in the original Relief Society in the first days of its organization in Nauvoo. In October 1910, Emmeline B. Wales was called as the 5th president of the Relief Society. When Emmeline was but 16 years of age, her husband and his parents apostatized from the church and left Nauvoo, leaving the young wife alone, far from her Massachusetts home. Her infant son died in the fall of that year. Amidst all these trials, she found refuge in the home of Bishop Newell K. Whitney, whom she married the following year. With his family, she traveled to the Salt Lake Valley in 1848. When her second daughter was only 5 weeks old, Bishop Whitney died. She taught school for 2 years, and then she married Daniel H. Wales. The character of Clarissa S. Williams was a happy blending of sweet humility with an unusual executive and business ability. Clarissa was born in 1859 in the old historian's office, and she was the daughter of George Albert Smith. After her graduation from school, she taught school for 2 years, and then she married William N. Williams. And there followed a long married life of happiness, blessed with 11 children. She began her work in Relief Society when she was 16 years old, and she traveled extensively in her work as president. But after her husband's death, she asked to be released due to her failing health. She was released in 1928 and died in March of 1930. On October 28, 1928, Louise Y. Robinson was called to be the 7th General President of the Relief Society. Louise was born in Scipio, Utah in 1866 and always met life with a prayer in her heart and love in her soul. She led a pioneer existence, and when she was young, she learned to wash and to dye and to weave cloth. She learned to knit stockings and braid straw. She also gleaned wheat and gathered Sunday eggs. She sat with the sick and cared for the dead. She attended Brigham Young Academy, but an early marriage to Joseph L. Robinson turned her attention from school to the home. She served in the Young Women's Mutual Improvement Association for many years before being called to the Relief Society. The Relief Society colors of blue and gold were adopted in March of 1931, while Sister Robinson was president, and the motto, "Charity Never Faileth," was adopted at that time. The single lily was also used as an emblem to the Relief Society during these years because of its usefulness to the early pioneers. In 1934, the Relief Society Singing Mothers was established. Amy was born in Pleasant Grove in 1873 and attended Brigham Young Academy, and then she taught school there and later taught in Salt Lake City. After marrying Richard R. Lyman, she devoted her life to her home and her family. When her husband went east to study, she accompanied him and studied cultural and social subjects. She She served on the National Women's Council, and she helped establish the Utah State Training School in 1929. These Society sisters gave freely of their compassion, of their substance, and their time. They helped in hospitals. They helped in the Red Cross. They gave first aid courses. They carried out welfare assignments for the church and made literally thousands of quilts. Amy Brown Lyman was loved by all who knew her. Her rich store of experience and her breadth of vision were important factors in carrying forward to new heights of service. Succeeded Amy Brown Lyman as the 9th General President of the Relief Society on April 6, 1945. Following her education, she became a special instructor in remedial work for retarded children. In 1921, she married Willis Earl Spafford, and they had 2 children. She was called to the General Board of the Relief Society in 1935, and for 7 years she served as editor of the Relief Society magazine. Relief Society. Sister Smith is a loving wife and a creative mother. She's an example and an inspiration to all who know her. As a leader, Sister Smith is dedicated and concerned. As a general board member, she was always one of the last ones to go home from a committee meeting. Her confidence in her co-workers is great, infusing them with the attitude that she herself portrays. You can do it. As the church becomes a truly worldwide church, one of her deepest concerns is that all the Relief Society sisters truly meet the needs of sisters around the world, including countries where the gospel has been recently introduced. At a time when the church is emphasizing greater spiritual strength, Barbara Ann Woodhead Winder was sustained on April 7th, 1984, as the 11th General President of the Relief Society organization. She said as she accepted the call to lead the 1.6 million member organization, and these are her words, accepting responsibilities even when I had no idea how I could carry them out, and then trying hard to learn what the Lord would have me do, has been my everyday goal. Sister Winder grew up in the East Mill Creek area of the Salt Lake Valley. She attended the University of Utah for several years before her marriage. Her understanding of people and the problems of the world has broadened with her travels that we face today. Presidents will now come down to the audience so that each of you could get a little better look at them. And then there will be a fashion show, and Sister Harvey will announce that.
1865, a time of impractical elegance, included the hoop skirt and train. This elegant gown and hat are copies of those belonging to a well-known politician's lady of that day. They are modeled by lovely Jackie Swenson. Shortly after the Civil War, then the hoop skirt was replaced by the bustle. This rare and original horsehair petticoat, worn under an antique black silk peignoir, was a must. It has rows of ruffles down the back to accentuate the bustle of a dress. Note the racy high heels on the high-top boots. Our model is statuesque Laura Lee Vaughan. Its train and lace apron front could be worn for a wedding or other special occasion. It is modeled by equally charming Tiffany Anderson. Voting rights brought in a new style. The bustle and the train were passé. Our demure Mary Stout is showing an original wedding outfit with elaborate needlework. The wedding veil is also an original. Debonair Karen Phelps is wearing an antique dress and coat with a 5-piece fox fur that was fashionable in 1912. The early 1900s is shown to advantage by stunning Janice Coons. Modeled by chic Patricia Powers. It was appropriate for formal occasions. chiffon with its flappish accessories. It is modeled by jaunty Lori McGee. The original outfits modeled next are from the 1930s. This black velvet suit with pretty Heather Jurgensen. At the end of the 40s, this style dress was fashionable with a smart hat and accessories. It is being modeled by our own sweet Susie Paulson. Many stiff petticoats flounced under full skirts in the 50s. Fashions were feminine with tight waistlines. Modeling an outfit from the early 50s is lovely Tiffany Meekum. And modeling this eye-catching organdy formal is petite Katrina Jessup. The 60s ushered in a new era of styles and lifestyles. Here we have a typical fashion of the popular singing Andrews Sisters. Modeling is pretty Camille Griffin. Last but not least of the 60s and this presentation is the extravagant velvet dress which belonged to a well-known star. Wearing it is our own glamorous Stacey Gong.
We really did have a crowd here tonight. It looked kind of sparse, but they were all back in the back room having a wonderful time. We appreciate each one of you, beautiful models, every one of you, and even our men. And Brother Hill with his beautiful music. In case you couldn't see that far, he didn't have one note of music. He had not one note of music there. It was all printed words. So we appreciate everyone who has done their part, Sister Debaker and her narration and Judy and all of our models, and especially Sister Harriet Platt and Flora Watkins. Could they come out, please? We need to see them. These two women are wonderful, and the talents that they have, and they graciously offered to do this for us, and I just wish that everyone in the ward could have been here to enjoy all of the work that they have done. I wanted them to be able to tell you a few things about this, and they said they wrote up a few things just last minute, and would you like to, have you changed your mind? Would you like to come and talk about it?
Harriet promised me I wouldn't have to go up, and I promised her.
Would you come long enough to get one little remembrance? And then while you're here, we'll tell a little bit about it, okay? While they're coming up, I'll read some of the things that Harriet wrote just briefly, how they acquired these things. I said, I know there's going to be lots of questions. Where did these come from, and how did you acquire them, and all. And so I'll just read quickly if I can do this without my glasses. Sister Platt's sister, Flora Watkins, began her collection of antiques over 50 years ago with the purple flapper dress being modeled by, I think it was Lauren McGee. Since then, hats, dresses, and jewelry have been collected by Harriet and her sister in Europe and in the East and the South, from mansion estate sales, antique shops, private sellers, and some are cherished family heirlooms. Several of the more precious antiques have been donated to the Church Museum and other museums, and others will be donated. They have graciously presented a number of shows. Some drawings have been used in the Salt Lake Tabernacle and Marriott Center. How privileged we are tonight to have them come and show these. And they informed us that this is the last show that they're ever going to put on. You changed your mind about that?
I just wanted to say that it's the last show for a lot of the costumes because as the models will notice they're disintegrating. Lots of them will go to museums. I want to thank this Relief Society for the opportunity to work with you ladies. All these models were so much fun. All I did was have a good time while Harriet cleaned and patched and pressed and organized. so it was all fun for me, and you've got such a great group of ladies. I've never been more impressed, and particularly to get to meet Dr. Hill. And I understand he didn't use a note in music. I couldn't believe it. He knew exactly what needed to be played and did a beautiful job.
I don't read music.
I need to tell you also that Pat West came up with that beautiful frame, frame, I guess you'd call it. But we talked to her to see if maybe she could figure out some kind of a frame, and you ought to hear the story how that came about. Our talented Pat West came up with that from almost nothing, and it is just beautiful, and we thank you. If I did, it's purely unintentional. We thank each one of you for being here, contributing your part by being with us and sharing your beautiful spirit. And we appreciate the visitors who have come also. We'll ask Sister Litchfield to give the closing prayer now. Feel free to stay around and visit and admire these beautiful costumes.
Okay.
Lindy, babe. This one's for you, hon. Wait.
Can you believe this girl?
You gotta see Stacy. Wait a second.
Doesn't she look good up there? Look at these two hams.
This
These are
is like
the
an
biggest hams of
authentic
the evening.
Marilyn Monroe dress. She wore it. As you can see, Stacy's smaller. No, I'm just kidding. Just kidding. And this is the last
Whose
thing.
was it?
Marilyn Monroe.
It was really hers?
Yeah, Marilyn.
Cute.
And
They
this,
said a famous star.
this is the last one. This is the last horsehair thingy jiggy. What is this called?
Horsehair petticoat.
Horsehair petticoat that's like together still in the United States in one piece. So this is the last time you're gonna see it, babe.
Ooh, look at that with the little ruffles in the back.
Isn't that
I
neat?
love it.
And I have a pocket. And there's even, look, get a close up of this. There's even horse stuff here. No, I'm just kidding. Sorry.
Now are you going to videotape?
Well, they got the right one from Marilyn Monroe then, didn't they? Look at the pouty lips and the whole thing.
Listen, if you're going to get her slip, you might as well get what they're wearing.
Well, I don't know that she'd appreciate that. Well, let's just go from head to toe and scan
Check
this
these out,
over
babe.
here.
And are you loving these boots or what?
Oh.
Check them out.
Yeah,
I feel
she
like the
said
Wicked
Lindy
Witch of
couldn't
the
stand
West.
it.
I knew you would.
Lindy
You gotta love
would
these
hate it.
silver shoes.
I can't believe those are the authentic numbers, aren't they?
Yeah, these are the
Both of them?
like the seat on the back. What babe, Lynn? Love you
That's
guys.
wonderful. Okay, on the fade then. Would you like to both throw her big kisses and we'll freeze frame the kiss and then fade out. Are you ready for this?
We'll do like that one show where they went. Okay. Like
Okay, and both together so I can freeze frame you in mid
Okay, ready?
smack.
Okay.
Okay. All right, say goodbye, Lindy.
Bye, Lindy. Bye.